Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the GO Malta eSports Festival Day 2 as EvH are one game up over Omnia. Omnia we've seen throughout the day play fantastically well from behind, and they are behind in this set here. One game away from going into that loser's bracket, which is a position you do not want to be in if you're Omnia. And EvH, one game away from going through to the finals, getting that fast track there. It's very exciting.
Ban the Orn. Do it.
I'd actually like to see Omnia not ban the Orin and pick it up for Victorious Reign in this particular run, but we'll have to see if that's how they do it or if they don't.
The warrior spirit is never
Okay, Xin Zhao, Misfortune. And this is on the blue side, not the red side. Let's see if they're going to be traumatized and actually ban the Orn themselves. Ilawi, until now, it's exactly the same bans.
Something about Victorious Reign playing Alawi apparently they don't want to be seeing. Xin Zhao obviously removed, like you said. What is the last ban for Mad Smoke? I'd maybe like to see a Leona ban from them, and then they first pick the Orin. Give them the real advantage in the team fight. They're going to ban the Fresh away from Aeon, denying that he played so well in the last game on that. And Orin's going to get removed by EvH. They know what's high priority and what's not.
Okay, so with this in mind, a few picks popped to my mind. Xayah is available, Tristana is available, Ezreal is also available, and even Leona for the massive engage capability. Until now, we haven't seen anything worth noting out of those picks. We've seen the Jax, but it's specific pick for Blaze, and Blaze is playing, so that could be the ending point for Omnia if Blaze gets his hands on the Jax. So Ezreal. It could be the jungle, it could be the AD carrier. So far, it has been the AD carrier, but it's going to pair up versus a Tristana that until now has been devastating.
Every Tristana we've seen today has really popped off and hard carried games. Deity, pretty much every game he's played today has really shown up for his team as well. So getting a pretty staple pick for himself there. We did see Asmalix actually play very well on the Ezreal. His score didn't fully reflect it, but I'm not talking about this Ezreal. I want to talk about this Rengar that gets picked up by Blaze in the jungle.
So many ways to play the Rengar, so many monsters you can bring in. You can bring Electrocute, Dark Harvest, and even the Predators. So I really want to see this. Is he going to power level until level 6 and all of a sudden and kill you? Oh, we can have the quest. We could have the quest, my dear Hiprain. And the birds.
Who's going to get it? That's going to be really exciting. I really hope that's not... I'm not going to talk about the hover. I want to talk about the Kha'Zix and the Rengar interaction. For anyone who doesn't know, obviously there is a little quest involved with those two. I believe there were changes to it a while back. It's been a long time since I've seen either of them in the same game.
Yeah, they've fallen off meta for a long time. Supposedly the quest is random, so we don't know when it's going to pop open and when you can actually seal the deal to see who takes the head of the opponents. Obviously, Rengar wants to take it for the additional stacks, and Kha'Zix for the last evolution. Oh, I'm so happy. Finally.
We have the Pigeon Lord himself. Mechanix is going to be playing on the mechanical champion that is Ezreal. Victorious Reign picked himself up the Janna. That's obviously for CJ Madsmoke to be playing. Looking for that heavy peel style bot lane, not looking for the picks, but I am starting to worry about Omnia's actual team fight potential because so far they haven't got too much that offers them big CC for a team fight.
Okay, now to the ban phase. Will it be the mid laners taking the chunk or the support? So far, Alistair Thresh on the other side. Cyan, Leona should be a ban coming in from Omnia if they want to bring the Janna Ezreal.
They definitely need to think about banning away the Leona. Kassadin gets removed from the mid lane. That's going to be denied from Chongi. I would like to see the Leona ban. Just force Aeon on something maybe he's not so comfortable on. He's been very good on these playmakers, 2 of which have been removed now. Remove that Leona, remove his ability to go in on Gage and force him onto something that won't be finding the picks for his team because EvH are also kind of lacking the pick potential. for team fights and large CC, and there's going to be the Leona ban coming through finally. So 3 support bans from Omnia. Massive respect for Aeon, the EvH support player.
Makes sense. We're looking at a lockdown champion pool. Leona, Alistar, and Thresh. All of those, he has been a beast. So you need to remove them and force him on something like a Lulu, something more supportist like for your hyper carry, or never mind, Scratch.
You could just, I mean, you can also just pick up the Blitzcrank. That's also an option. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, poor Janna indeed.
Ezreal doesn't care. He's fine, but Janna.
This is actually going to be very interesting to see how the bot lane goes now with this. Aeon has landed pretty much every hook that's ever been thrown out in the history of hooks. So doing very well on that. And Swain will actually be the pickup. I wonder if that's going to go top or mid. Chongi's the one to pick it up. So let's see what they do decide to lock in as their final pick. And then we'll know whether Swain is going top or mid.
I think this is a flex depending on what they want. It can bring something weird to the mid lane. More physical. No, actually magical damage to fight off the enemy team. There we go. Talia.
Talia. Okay, so Swain's going in the top lane. What is the answer for EvH? Are they just going to play something mad and rad themselves?
Okay, versus Talia, you can actually go for the Kassadin. If you look into the enemy team, they have a lot of magical damage, so it could be a Kassadin. You can bring something more stable. Oh, what am I saying? This is Azir, so this could be the top lane of Maokai.
This could be the top lane of Maokai, and there it is, locked in. For a minute, I thought the Swain was a placeholder, but that's not actually the case. And you now can see the lineup on your screen, see who's playing what and where. Talia versus Azir in the mid lane. We've actually got the Maokai versus Swain in the top lane. Talk to me about that interaction. So how does that work?
In the mid lane?
No, the top lane.
Oh, the top lane. Because the mid lane, the bird wins. On the top lane, see, now I'm getting confused because I saw on Azir, I'm broken on the inside. I'm broken on the inside. Exactly. So on the top lane, it's Swain versus Maokai. It depends on the Swain player and what he's going to bring in terms of masteries or runes, as you want to call them. But supposedly Swain has the lead after level 9. Until level 9, if Rengar goes into the top lane, they can abuse the fact that Swain is quite squishy at the beginning of the game before you get something like a Rod of Ages and he builds full tanky. There's a player in Portugal called Fearless. He's now on Brazil fighting on the Red Bull championship on a 1v1. He's the best Swain in Europe. Actually confirmed, everybody keeps saying, professional players, that he's a really, really good slayer, really, really good Swain. What he plays with, he goes full tanky. Commit full tanky Swain, only to get some sustain and DPS, over like damage over time.
One of the most
ridiculous.
One of the most disgusting Swain builds I've ever seen is the Blade into Spirit's Visage.
Yeah.
Those two items, and you just don't die. It's actually disgusting. I don't expect to see Victorious Reign take that particular build, but if he does, it'd be really interesting. I expect to see him kind of go Rod of Ages, Spirit's Visage, and just go full on tank and survive the game that way.
But what we're looking at is we have tremendous amount of lockdown capability from Event Horizon with Azir, Maokai, and even Blitzcrank getting someone out of the blue. That is also one thing we have to pay attention to throughout the entire game. Out of the blue, Aeon can just pull someone and win the game. That is a thing. But if you look at Azir and Maokai, they can lock in and burst down people. Rengar can burst down, Tristana can burst down, and Azir will have a massive amount of damage. Until now, we have not seen on tournament, but I know how he works. And as long as you have those 3 soldiers up, your attack speed is increased ludicrous. Like level. It's no longer percentage. It's like ludicrous. It's there. So with this
My favorite thing about the EvH lineup is actually they can play what I like to call pass the parcel, where Blitzcrank can hit someone, Tristana can bust the sock someone, and Azir can shuffle someone. There's lots of ways to knock people around and just kind of throw them around different members and just hard lock them down. I don't expect to see them do that in a straight line, but it'd be fun to see. But
and the Rengar as the goalkeeper,
and Rengar's the dog waiting for his food at the end. It was a cat, isn't he? Waiting for his cat food at the end.
Give me that catnip. Give it, Beatrice. Beatrice is the bird from Swine, for those who don't know. So exhaust for the mid lane for Talia versus heal. And there's only one ignite on the game on the hands of Aeon. The assassin is going to bring Janna into his chest every single time he can. It's going to be devastating to play versus Blitzcrank if you're playing with Janna. But as I was saying, they have a lot of ways to pull someone in and just burst him down. Azir has a lot of damage. So Swain on this composition will be interesting if he gets a lead. If he gets behind by the slightest, he won't be able to tank in the late game, and he won't be able to get that damage over time.
Now, one of the things I want to kind of hit on with Deity actually is I'd really like to see him invest 800 gold early into the Executioner's cooling.
Oh, yeah.
Because it will deny Swain as we move into these team fighting stages. These games are rolling very fast. The players are constantly rotating around. And it's not like he can pick it up maybe third item or something like that. Just as an off build. I think you should pick it up early because I expect to see Tristana and Swain scrap it out relatively early in this game. Denying that, healing he can put down will be massive. Also to speak, but Blitzcrank is running that Ignite as well, which will also be a denial. But that obviously has a 3.5 minute cooldown. So it's going to be more, if Deity can get this Executioner's cool early, Victoria's Reign will have a hard time.
It's not only Swain, it's Kha'Zix sustain that he gets from his own W. It's Janus sustain that gets from the Moonstone. It's one of those items, it's like, oh, it's like a Quicksilver. I'm buying it just for one person. No. You don't make it rain, man. That item will make itself worth.
Item will work out as we do take to the rift one more time today. It's going to be Omnia versus EvH. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you think will win as we load straight into a pause.
That's exciting.
Don't worry. We're back. Hype, everybody. Get the hype going. Omnia taking on EvH. Omnia have their backs to the wall as they are one loss away from going in to that loser's brackets. They will get placed a little higher up in the loser's brackets if they lose now. So they don't start at the beginning. They will be one of the final bosses along the road. But even so, if they can get this win and tie the series, they have a very real chance of going through to the finals.
Let me just try to order up the champions. Oh, I can't. We are on the pause. I can't do it.
Oh, I can.
You can?
Yeah, man.
What?
Your client doesn't like you, dude. That's what it is. There we go.
I was expecting that, but oh, now it allows me. Okay, but if you look into the masteries, we have 3. No, 4. Make it 4. No, 3 actually, because now I put things as they should. Aerie. We have 3 of them. We have on Swine, we have on Talia, and we have on Janna. So it's present. That master is present. On the other side, Blitzcrank will bring the Aftershock. Interestingly enough, he's not looking for anything cheeky. He just wants to get himself tanky after he goes in.
Here we are, onto Summer's Rift. Pauses are done. Blitzcrank and the group are invading in. And Asmalix needs to be careful of a potential hook from Aeon.
Oh, they found him. They spotted them. They have to go back.
Spotted out. Feels bad, man.
Oh, wait. The cheesy.
Looking for something. Asmalix should just play really safe here. He should be aware that there's probably a hook waiting somewhere for him in this bot side jungle. So it's probably in his best interests not to get hooked.
I would be back at base. No, that was a nice, interesting
Don't
hook.
leave base till 1 minute in the game.
Exactly. Why would you put yourself through danger of getting hooked by Aeon? Especially because it's Aeon. Like, this guy is not missing anything.
Not at all. Now, everyone's just starting pretty safe. There was an attempt from EvH to try and get a first blood, but didn't work out for now. So just going to reset and get themselves ready to go. As we finally have an Azir. You've been talking a lot about how you think Azir should be coming through in today's tournament. And today's the first time we get the honor of seeing it. And it is going to be Mechanics playing it from EvH.
The only thing I'm sad is that he brought the Comets.
Yeah, I should have got Aerie.
You
Or at
what?
least the attack speed one, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now that
Yeah.
I can agree
Sorry,
with.
I forget that's a mid laners can take that as well. I only think top laners and ADCs take that.
You only need to damage him with anything at all, and all of a sudden you get that burst of attack speed. which is going to be beautiful with a soldier. So it's like you don't even need attack speed on Azir to actually get to 2.5 seconds. As long as you have 3 soldiers and the lethal tempo, you're good to go.
Well, Chongi already forced to throw the exhaust onto Mechanics, who's running very low. Deity looking for the hook. That's going to be one onto Asmalex as he soaks it up. Flashes forward onto Deity. Now he's being ignited. The knock-up goes wide, and they're still fighting away here. The trade is pretty even in the bot lane, and no one goes down. Lots of summoner spells burn, and Asmalex so aggressive on the Ezreal.
Those are the things that I hate about Ezreal. You're playing nicely, and that champion just goes in with the Arcane Shift, gets the Mystic Shot, and bails out. Because you're not expecting that. No one is expecting someone to be that aggressive or suicidal. But most Ezreal players do it. Oh, mid lane, Mechanics.
He does have flash, so he can heal up. Now they're chasing him down. Aerie is thrown out, but it's not going to be enough burst damage for the kill, and he's going to walk away fine. Toby's not having a fun lane. Oh, you nailed him.
Asmalex has the big advantage. He could go in. He doesn't want to, but he could. He could take the first blood. And both junglers on the mid lane, peeking in. They fancy it.
They are indeed. Look at Blaze looking for something onto Chongi. Mechanics looking to bait him out. Is going to get knocked back by the seismic shove. And Chongi finds first blood.
Gets the stone on the birds. I've heard that before. And now they can push in the mid lane, and this will allow them to go back with the first blood. And that's a lost chapter and an Amplifying Tome, I believe. Let me just see. No, that's just a lost chapter, which is so good to start off 4 minutes in.
Chongi solos out Mechanics. That's a better start for this lineup. And look at this. 3-man stacked here. They're looking for the hook. It's going to go a little bit wide, and Asmalex is just trading away. Deity really struggling to farm without losing a lot of health.
That's the bad thing about Blitz. If you miss a hook, instantly you can engage. There's nothing you can do except run to you and knock you up. Aside from that, it's done. See, there he goes. He knows the cooldown. The cooldown is back up, so they need to be careful.
Rengar's coming in, but there's also the bug as Asmalex gets the kill. Now Deity looking for a bit of damage as the explosive cast is on top of Mad Smoke, but he's going to be okay for now. Oh, Blaze's damage is massive. Not enough to kill Van Cleef, though, and that's 2 kills to Omnia.
There is no heal on the hands of Ezreal, so I think Blaze could have went in and tried to achieve a kill, but he's not going to risk it. He wants to play it carefully. Doesn't want to give any sort of lead now to Omnia, which is making a really, really good job until now, coming back versus Event Horizon. You told us you think this could be a best of 3, and we could go to 3 games instead of only 2.
It looks like that is potentially on the cards, as Omnia at least have bounced back and not let that loss from the first round get into their heads. They know that they've really got a lot to play for here. 1,250 euros is the first prize, if I remember right.
Yeah, have a good memory. I
Weekend of
believe
League of
in you.
Legends. Fun.
What? What? Tell me. Hip.
What am I telling you?
I don't know. You tell me. I couldn't listen, so I'm telling you to repeat. I don't care. Sorry that dirt coming in for Kha'Zix at this point. Now he has lethality on his pocket. Let's see if he's able to get someone, because Rengar went for the Cauffiel's Warhammer instead of lethality. So, he wants it. Doesn't get
I'll
it.
find it. It's always frustrating on Blitzcrank when you can't hook through minions.
Now that's an update I would not like to see.
Darn minions ruining my lane. It's Victoria's Reign. Oh, it's popped the ulti onto Toby. Toby's losing a fair amount of health. And it is very hard to play this lane when you're the Maokai. Especially when it's an airy Swain.
Until you get the Spectral Call.
Yes, until then.
Once you get it, they're like, okay, fine. Do whatever you want. Because he's going for the tanky build on Swain.
Well, he could go Void Staff second if he really wants to continue lane pressure and ignore the tanky stats for now and get something like a Spirit Assad third. And then it means he'll at least be able to have split push pressure over Toby. So that is also an option for him. But as the Spirit Visage comes through onto Victorious Reign, as the Spectre's Cow's done for Toby, it becomes harder for either of the top laners to kill each other.
Nice. If you use the Torments on the enemy and you keep close with the auto attack range, you can get 2 Ares from 1 skill. She goes back by herself. Interesting.
Ooh, Aeon. Oh, misses the hook. CJ Mad Smoke with a mad dodge. And Omnia look reborn after the last game.
Yeah.
But here comes Van Cleef
Oh,
looking for
Blaze. He couldn't be forced to flash away. There we go.
He is, but Van Cleef is on the chase, and here comes the Weaver's Wall. They're chasing him down as he stealthed his way in. Mechanics trying to make something work, but Chongi gets the second kill. Now Madsmoke is hooked up and knocked up. CJ Madsmoke doesn't have ulti quite yet, but they're still chasing through as Aeon's under fire. Asmonix can't find the kill, and nobody goes down in the bot lane.
Event Horizon have no idea how to play around Omnia at this one. As Malek's dealing the damage that he needs, he knows how to fight this lane. As soon as Aeon misses the hook, things are going smoothly. Kha'Zix steals away the red buff. Not only he didn't lost the blue buff, he didn't lose the blue buff. Also, he can go for the enemy red buff, and this is so important because if Blaze falls short as a rain guard at the beginning of the game, it will be really hard to pick himself back up.
Kha'Zix scales arguably better than the Rengar into the late game, depending on how Rengar builds. If he wants to go for the kind of one-shot build, trade 1-for-1, kill a high-priority target, that is always an option. Otherwise, he can just go for the more tanky build and look to get into the backline and sustain through the fight. But if he goes for that one-shot build, he does need to keep in mind that CJ Madsmoke will be able to peel exceptionally well for the squishy targets.
Siege Minion was just lost by Deity. That's not something you can afford right now. You need every bit of gold in your pockets to get that advantage. It's a pickaxe versus a Tear of Goddess. And it's going to be an Iceborne Gauntlet yet again, I believe. He does have a long sword, so he's going straight up for the Munamana. Until now, Mechanics was not capable of showing himself on the scoreboard as well, while the entire team of Event Horizon is not able of getting themselves on the scoreboard. It's really complicated because if Omnia, a team known, at least from what we've seen today, to play from behind and actually getting the comeback, if they get the lead early game, I can't imagine what they can do to you.
Omnia have proven that they're very good at playing from ahead. Now, we do see a Drake get started up by Blaze. Decides to peel away from it, doesn't want to overcommit. And Omnia at 10 minutes this time are the team who are up 2,000 gold in the lead over Event Horizon, who have been frankly smashing every game they play so far.
On the mid lane, Mechanic, just dodging that one and baiting the ultimate from Van Cleef. Even though he's not aware that just happened. He can go for the second charge.
No, he just shuffles his way out with the shifting sands.
So 2,000 gold on his inventory. What will Mechanics go for? Probably the Nash's Tooth or even Morella. I don't think Morella is the best item to go for as an Azir at this meta top lane. No!
No, Deity goes for it, but he can't find it. The monster, the true shot barrage from Asmonix finds its mark and gets the kill in the mid lane. Now Chongi and Mechanics are looking for a little bit of a scrap in the mid lane. No one goes down, but what a beautiful shot from Asmonix.
Omnia playing carefully and playing safely. Event Horizon are just losing their minds. They're forcing stuff that they can't. And this is allowing Omnia to play even better. And, well, skill into the late game if they need. There's an Azir Sun on the other side, and there's an ultimate.
On the hunt comes through, they're all silenced up, and Blaze finds one. A two-man knockup from Madsmoke as he flashes away from the hook. They only lose one member so far, but that does mean that maybe the Infernal Drake could be a mark for EvH to get themselves back in this.
An Infernal Drake for the Rengar player, that would be the cherry on top of the cake of this gank. And I believe they're going to try.
They've been spotted on a ward and Chongi's there. Remember, Chongi's got 2 kills, but he is pretty big at this point. Here comes the Reaper's Wall, the knockout comes down, Chongi looking for a bit of damage. He's not going to be able to find it as he hasn't got a flash yet. That's going to be a kill onto Deity. and they also secure themselves the Infernal Drake. Van Cleef was just not on board with the rest of the team. He was hanging around mid lane.
He didn't got a cherry. He got 2 cherries, man. He got an additional stack, and he got the Infernal Drake. At this point, Blaze went back, wanted enhancement. No, he still hasn't gone back. 1,000 gold. Probably going to invest on boots. Let me just see. He has 2 stacks at this point, which means he has 3% bonus attack damage. He could go straight up for 20 if he gets 5 stacks. And if he gets Rengar, I believe he can get even further. I don't think they changed the quests. So it could be 30% if I'm not mistaken. I'll check it out.
Now that longsword screams to me that Asmolix actually might be going for a Triforce this game. Wants to maybe invest in a little bit more damage because that Iceborne Gauntlet build, while it's very good from behind, they are ahead this game. So they want to make sure that they can keep the damage pumping out from Asmolix because his damage didn't really spike at all last game. He didn't get the chance to get that. Oh, there you go. The deity special sitting in a bush. A great hook from Mads onto Mad Smoke secures him as he is dropped down as Aeon finds the kill. But look at
had a flash. Oh, it's not done.
Unfortunately, it is done. It did look like they were almost done there, but they do get the kill, but they're going to lose themselves a turret for that. First turret comes through for the lineup on Omnia, and they push the gold lead again, but it's still closing in. And it's now seeing how EvH can play from behind. We know Omnia can do it, but can EvH?
By the way, it's 30% bonus attack damage. Man, so close. It's 30% bonus damage if you get the quest on Rengar. If it's on Kha'Zix, you get the additional skill. But on Rengar, it's 10% additional damage. It's actually pretty valuable.
Valuable on either one who gets it. Unfortunately, we don't know when the quest starts. I don't think we get a knock-up, a warning of that, which is...
No. It's random, but I believe you need to kill Baron.
Mad Smoke. Mad Smoke is in a very bad position.
No flash.
And Asmolix is also with him. Look at this bait, this patience coming through from EvH. Asmolix is right next to them as he just gets locked down and blown apart. Why are they not checking bushes?
Well, they checked with their faces. Oh, now they're engaged.
Now Van Cleef is coming through as they are just losing members. They were ahead, and Omnia are just not playing with their heads at the moment. It seems like they're kind of forgetting how to play now. As we are seeing Blaze looking for the kill onto Van Cleef as he looks for so much burst damage. Doesn't find it. Now Chongi's hanging about. Does have that seismic shove available, but the tower is under fire. Teleport's coming down from Victorious Reign. Are they going to keep it alive? Weaver's Wolves for another. Victorious Reign has come in. He's managed to get the snare as the seismic shove pushes them back. The true shot barrage lands through all 4, tearing through the backline. Hook doesn't find his mark as Victorious Reign goes in, pops the Proto Bell, chaining onto Deity as Deity is going to hop away. Now Aeon on the run is going to get his way out and no one goes down. It's still not done as here comes the shuffle from Mehanix. He's looking for the next kill as Chongi is under fire. The seismic shot comes down. He's finding the kill, but it's going to be Blaze who gets it. Followed up by the hook, followed up by the damages. Asmolix is shielded up by Mad Smoke and he stays alive.
This is massive. 3 kills at this point, 7% bonus attack damage. I believe the only ones missing out are Kha'Zix and Spawn. Yes, they are, because they are the only targets who have not hit the bucket until now on this game on the side of Omnia. And out of the blue, we see Event Horizon yet again on the front line of the golds. Man, Omnia had the game, but still they wanted to face head-on on Event Horizon, and they're able to bring some shenanigans, and they did. And those hooks,
Teleport.
you could fail a lot of them.
There's a teleport coming in from behind, so they're looking to stop this from happening. Asmolix is extremely low. Blaze gets knocked up. Now we're seeing the opening come through. They do get a Rift Tail, but lose Blaze for it. Victorious Reign comes down as the shutdown comes through. Great true shot barrage stays up as Victorious Reign is there. Seismic shove knocks Aeon back as Toby is going in as a double kill onto Aeon, and he's gonna get himself the kill. Now Chongi under fire. Mehanix gets his own double kill. Toby with the arcane smash can't quite find it as Victorious Reign is running low on mana. The root's there. He's not going to find it, and Mehanix finds 3 in the team fight.
Throughout the entire fight, Mehanix had 3 soldiers with the blue buff. Because of that, his attack speed was empowered by way too much. And no one had an exhaust to stop this Azir because Mad Smoke was forced to bail out of the fight as soon as possible. And this is yet another one, 6-10. They were leading by 4-0. It was so sudden, and this Infernal Drake is just empowering even more Blaze. Blaze got himself 4 stacks. He's only missing the stack on Swain. This is 13 bonus attack damage at 17 minutes alongside with the Infernal Drake. 1 more stack, and I don't even know, because he went straight up for Dusk Blade. He can one-shot people.
Ooh, Blaze is hanging about, sniffing around to see if he can find a Talia in the mid lane. Can't do so, unfortunately, for him. But this constant aggression from EvH is really starting to show up, actually, and they're starting to kind of pull this gold lead back, and they're now the ones ahead. Is Aeon hanging about, looking for a hook, potentially? Chongi is being very safe now. He's realizing that they can't over-aggress. They are going to lose a Drake, though, so that's a Mountain Drake and an Infernal Drake. We've had loads of really good Drakes today.
Yeah.
Oh, Deity. Oh, Deity. He actually manages to stay alive with a fantastic Buster shot. Van Cleef's damage wasn't quite enough, unfortunately, for him, but Asmalix will push up here in this top lane and look for the top lane tier 1.
There we go. It's going to be an Iceborne Gauntlet for Ezreal. I'm not doubting that he was going for the Trinity Force, but as soon as you see Blaze with 4 stacks, okay, abort. Just go straight up for the Trinity, for the Iceborne. We need armor on Ezreal, or else he's gonna just perish instantly. I want to see Blaze finding a target, and I think he wants to. He's peeking on the mid lane. I just want to see this. I want to see quick math.
Let's see if 2 + 2 is 4. Or if it ends in fail, as Chongi takes a big chunk of damage underneath that tower. Tower's holding out here for Omnia still, which is good for them, as we actually do have Deity on the other side looking for something, but Mad Smoke looking to get picked apart as Van Cleef coming down. True Shot Barrage finds its mark, and the shutdown comes through. Toby now is forced to go on the run. Does find the Nature's Grasp onto Asmalix on the back, and he is going to peel away as Mechanics now is forced to shuffle out of town. Turret in the top side falls. We need to see Omnia try and push this mid down now. They're pinging it. And there is the Herald. No one to interrupt this time.
Okay, this time, yeah.
It was Van Cleef who interrupted last time. Oh, Mechanics? No, okay.
This is the way they need to win games. Omnia, we know them to just go for objectives, just trying to find small leads in the map. And Van Cleef is going to face check Maokai.
He decides maybe he doesn't want any tree at the moment as they are trading in. It's going to be a 4v1 as Toby is going to get slowed up and rooted up. Victorious Rain in. He does have the hose pipe available. Could low it down onto Aeon. There it is, slowing multiple members. His lifesteal is there. He's healing up, staying alive, but the damage from Mechanics is huge. Seismic Shove doesn't land onto his mark. And there is an Azir turret up there, so at least EvH can play around with that to stay okay for now.
Good way to fight versus Blaze. They know if they get on the skirmish, if they're not together, anyone can be picked apart.
Oh, Mechanics is going to be okay as we see them shift their way outside. Comes down onto Toby as he goes in with the graph, looking for a bit of damage. And Van Cleef enters into the back fray, picks up Deity, but CJ Smoke falls down as Asmalix is landing out the hurt. They are traded 1 for 1, make that 2 for 1 now.
Blaze
EvH are going to walk away.
100% shot Mad Smoke. There was not even time to get the exhaust out or even the flash. But still, it's not the target he needs to take down. I know he wants to take the Swain to get the 5 stacks, but he needs to take down Ezreal. He needs to take down Talia. Talia, for instance, doesn't have any sort of armor. So that is an easy target. Such as easy as a Janna. Meanwhile, in terms of
live back into lane. Always interesting. Now let's have a look at the items as they're starting to finish up at the 20-minute mark. Gold is almost even here. Only 1,000 gold separates both of these teams. Tristana working on her first Zeal item, probably the Static Shiv. Iceborne Gauntlet and Manamuni finish for Asmalix as he's working towards that Blade of the Ruined King. And it's going to be a Zonya's for Victorious Reign. He's not going down that tanky road at all. He wants to go full man mode and go damage output here.
And this is a vision that we usually don't see Event Horizons chase off. This is defensive vision all across the river. We don't have a lot of deep wards. Oh, Deity. Half HP.
Oh no, Asmolix could get
100%
one shot
HP.
here. Has a turret to keep going. Look at the damage coming out, and Asmolix is liquefied by Blaze.
Man. He knew Arcane Shift was no longer in question. Oh, Van Cleef.
Oh, mechanics! The shuffle comes down. The Van Cleef is on the run as he's shielded up. Can we see Mad Smokes actually make something happen here? No, he gets shot down. And it's going to be a kill on the Swain onto Blaze as Chongi at least will turn up to defend the turret.
They took down Ranger, so it's not a bad deal. It's a 1-for-1 in the end on that part of the map, because on the other side it's 2-for-0. And meanwhile, they want to take this 3-2 turret. This is the map opening up a little bit more for Event Horizon. They need that deep vision. They need to understand how Omnia is fighting off on this game. Toby has teleports.
Hanging on to that teleport for now. Knows that that bot lane is pretty easy for him to take, as the side of Omnia do need to kind of figure out what's happening with Baron Nashor, get some control back in their jungle as far as vision goes. They can't get caught out in their jungle anymore. This Blaze is looking scary. Okay, they're five-manning it. They're going for the Nashor. That's a brave call. Let's see if it's going to work out for them. As the teleport's getting channeled, now they're entering in. Blaze is throwing out the ultimate. Aeon gets the hook through, and now we're seeing the burst come out as Toby comes in. Now they're going for it. The steal comes out. Blaze manages to find it. Victorious Reign is looking to try and keep this going as Aeon is low, but Chongi is peeling away. They've managed to walk out for now, but a great Baron steal comes through for EvH, and they take full control.
Blaze comes in at the right time. Oh, Toby is gonna find Rain.
Let's see if Rain can do anything about this. He doesn't have the mana to really keep an ult up for long. And
Rain,
actually,
what are you doing?
he's executing. Is he going to be able to get out? No, he's been slowed down by the sapling. So this means he will actually go down in... This won't be an execute. This is going to be going over to Maokai. Oh, he did! Okay. I thought the sapling slowed him. I must have been wrong. Aeon with a godlike hook. Here comes Blaze, and he just blazes through them, getting them 2-0.
And now the map is open on a different way. In Event Horizon, finally we can see as we usually see them. And Omnia have to protect themselves against this Baron, the powered push. Oh, someone's dead.
Yeah, that person is... Oh, what a knockback. Now
Forget
Blaze
that.
is actually going to get slowed up. Crucial Barrage with a fantastic hook. Asmolix is dropped. He at least gets the Blitzcrank, but Mad Smoke goes down for the ace. And that is going to be the turrets cracking open with the help of Baron Nashor. As
Now they
Deity
can
is there.
take
His
this
damage
to
is huge.
Yeah, and he's only missing on one stack before the quest can open up. Let me see how much. Yeah, he's standing now at 4 kills. I was wondering why he was not rotating top while Maokai was chasing Swain, because the last stack, it's on Swain. I kept track of that, so he only needed to get an assist. Oh.
Imagine getting trolled by your own team. Is this hot? No, it's not that long.
Going all the way around. Oh, I thought he was going to just ditch on the dragon. Like, okay, you do it now. But no, he's going to assist on that Mountain Drake. Oh, after this one, it's an Infernal Drake.
2 Infernal Drakes, 2 Mountain Drakes. EvH can be very happy with this, and Omnia are scratching their heads thinking, where did this game go wrong? We were winning early, but not anymore. Leaf is running around.
Why is Blaze not buying items? He just went back.
It's Iron Man challenge. He has 3,300 gold.
Confused, but excited nonetheless.
Ooh, Van Cleef has been spotted out, and he's forced the Ghost Blade and ulti away. Looks like the hook comes down. It's going to go wide.
Is
Aeon
he going for an
doesn't find
Infinity
it.
Edge? Is he going to do it? Show me.
There it
Show me,
is.
please. Oh, he went straight up for the Infinity Edge. I saw 3,400 gold and he didn't buy anything. Went for the Krugs. I was like, no, you're not gonna do it. Oh, he did.
He does get that crit when he comes out of damage. I assume he's running sudden impact as well.
I'm scared and I'm casting.
He's gonna crit so hard it's gonna hit me in my next game.
You start the game shut down. Well, why?
Oh no! Oh wow, Asmalik stays alive with the arcane shift. I thought that was done.
So did he. So Victorious Brain is the only stack missing on this Blaze, who's sitting now at 388 damage as a ringer. If he gets himself the last stack, he's going straight up for the fourth. Oh my goodness, this is not a Zed, this is a Rengar. 400 damage in 27 minutes.
Oh, hook onto Chongi, knocks him up as they follow through. Victorious Rain has entered into the back as he gets knocked back. Blaze has popped the ultimate. Maybe he wants to find his last stack. No, he just insta-kills Vankly, making himself get shut down by Asmrelix. And now Aeon looking for a knock-up as Mahanik is going through with a shuffle. Can he find it? No, he's actually going to get rooted up and knocked back, and that's going to be the end of it as Deity just gets the crit in, securing the kill. EvH are opening up onto the Nexus turret. This is going to be a swift 2-0 30-minute game coming through from EvH, and they will be going through to the finals.
In the end, it's Event Horizon coming back into the game. 56,000 to 44,000, even though they were sitting behind 4,000 gold at the beginning of the game. They were getting beat up. And still, they were capable of keeping their mindset completely clean, understanding their winning conditions and playing around them. And all of a sudden, you see Blaze, a massive jungler on this tournament, completely... There's no one until now that was able to fight off with Blaze. And he's bringing weird picks. He brought in Jax, and he's shown on that pick. He brought in Rengar, and he did amazingly well.